America. We are currently at war with Mexico. My correspondent here will tell you the causes of the war.
Yes, there are multiple causes, one of which being Slidell's rejection, when we, as America, so graciously offered to buy from Mexico, New Mexico and California, and our offer was rejected. Also, the Alamo slaughter, when Americans were killed mercilessly by Mexicans.
That's very interesting. And the Alamo slaughter, I believe it was like 5 years since that happened, and yet
Exactly.
we're still angry about it.
We still are.
Like, it's been 5 years. Okay. I know that the U.S. had sent the military troops to the border
Right.
of the Mexico territory, trying to pressure them into giving us the land, saying that we will fight you if you don't give us the land. I think that the war with Mexico is going to poison us. Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of arguments over slavery because the Southerners are going to want to move west since we can't go north. So I don't think it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, well, I see your point, but I think that's going to be great for America, expanding our boundaries and just gaining more land.
That's a good point.
Hey, Kaylee.
It's nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So I have a few questions for you. What were your reasons for expanding westward?
Well, I fully believe in manifest destiny, which is that God has ordained this land of America for us to possess.
That's very interesting.
Thank you.
And the Mexican War, when you're taking the land from the Mexicans, your reasoning?
Well, to expand, God wants us to have this land.
So you fully believe?
100%. It has been ordained since the beginning of time.
Hello, I'm with this poor person and we're in California during the gold rush. What's your name?
Lizzie.
Lizzie, how do you feel about the gold rush?
Well, I took this month trip out here to California and I was promised land and riches and gold, and so far, no luck.
So here we are in California with a wealthy African American. So tell us, how do you feel about the gold rush?
Oh my gosh, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, I am rich, man.
How did you get so wealthy?
Well, I left the South. I was freed from a rebellion, pretty much, and I went to the North. And from the North, I was working as a factory worker, and I kind of actually missed being a slave because I just was treated terribly. Some of my friends, their hands got cut off and they got laid off.
No.
Yeah, and so when I heard about this gold rush, I just had to come west, and that was like the best decision I've ever made in my life. Sometimes you just got to take a chance.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah, no problem, thanks.
Come to California, guys, because we got gold and you can get rich. So come to California.
This is completely unfair. Slavery is a crucial part of our economic system.
You know what's unfair? The fact that you say that all people are equal, yet you're still treating these blacks as unequal.
Well, how about the factories?
Okay, well, at least we're not singling out one race.
Yeah, but even though you're doing that, like, the conditions that they're in, they're not good.
Inhumane.
We take care of our slaves.
Exactly.
No, you
we give
don't.
them houses.
Yes, we do. We give them houses,
feed
we give
them.
them food. If
Maybe
they're sick,
you
we
do,
make them
but what
feel-
about the rest of the population?
See, we get nothing done in these meetings. She always just has nothing good to say.
Welcome to K&J's Late Night Talk Show. We have our special guest, Bobby Lee, and my co-host, Gloria. Today we're going to be talking about the different things of expansion.
Yeah. So tell us, Bobby Lee, about the Monroe Doctrine.
Well, basically, it was the saying that the United States controls the Western Hemisphere.
Really? How do you feel about that?
I feel like that's a good policy to help America.
Interesting. Do you know anything about the Missouri Compromise?
Well, what that basically is that all states north of the 3630 line are free, and all states south of it are enslaved.
And any feedback about that you want to share with us?
That's a good one too.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And then what do you have to say about the 54-40 or fight?
That one is basically saying that the United States should get claims to like Oregon to Alaska.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time.
Indian, you may present your side of the story.
Well, we have been on this land for generations and generations, and it is just unconstitutional for the president to kick us off.
Alright, well, I'm Andrew Jackson, so I do what I want. And if I say that you're gonna leave, then you're gonna leave.
Well, they do have a point. I mean, they're living by our standards.
But I'm the president.
We are people too.
I'm the president. What I say goes.
The Indians have a very good point. They have been living by our standards and our conditions. And they are practically Americans because they have all our customs and our traditions. They dress
They
like
can
us.
move west. I gave them land. All they have to do is get there.
But they don't have to move.
Yes,
They're
they do.
technically
This
I'm
citizens.
is
the president,
unconstitutional.
and I say what goes.
You can't do that.
Do you need new shoes for the trek to the gold rush? I bet you do. Check out Andrea's new handcrafted leather shoes for the adventurer in all of us. Buy yours today. Now that we've had a few days to think things over, the South can add Missouri as a slave state and the North can add Maine as a free state. And we'll divide the country in two parts, the South and the North at the 3630 line. Is everyone good with that?
Why are we dividing it?
So that not one side will gain too much control.
But, so who's gonna have slave states and who's not?
The South can have slave states and the North will be free. Is everyone good with that?
Yes.
Can we?
I'm not sure. So the results of the war ended with the Treaty of Guadalupe and Hidalgo, and we basically just took 40%
Of Mexico's land
Yeah.
and added it to our borders.
Didn't we offer them like $15 million?
We did offer them. Will they get paid?
Probably
Who knows?
not. Sorry, Mexico. I also know that Jackson's no longer president, and Franklin Pierce is. And he took more land. I'm pretty sure it was the gas